Coming up in this Brightline construction update, in this update, I look at the progress in Southern Brevard County, Florida. My last video covered Central Brevard County from Cocoa to Pineda, so this video will cover the rest of the county. Specifically, I'll look at the progress in Melbourne, Palm Bay, Grant, and Micco. We'll start at Post Road and work south from there. About half a mile north of Post Road is the future Pineda crossover. The second main line is built almost all the way to the crossing. South of the crossing, sub-roadbed is laid, but track will not be laid soon as it is being used to access Horse Creek for bridge construction there. The future roadbed north of Parkway is also being used to access Horse Creek. To the south, preparations are being made for the second main line and the future siding that will provide access to some local cement industries. That future siding will end here, just north of Lake Washington Road. One of the turnouts for it has been built near the crossing. To the south, sub-roadbed has been laid. The curve here is going to be broadened, which will mean the track will shift towards the buildings in the background. You can kind of see where that shift will happen from Masterson Street. South of Masterson Street, part of the second main line has been laid on the east side of the existing main line. North of Aurora, the new track is laid on the west side, so there will be a cut and throw done between here and Masterson, which means both tracks will be a combination of the old and new main line. Ties are also laid south of the crossing. Only some sub-roadbed has been laid north of Eau Gallie Blvd. Nothing has been done south of Eau Gallie, as the right-of-way is providing access to the Eau Gallie River Bridge construction. Our next section is the area between the Eau Gallie River and Crane Creek. Most of the construction staging for the Eau Gallie River Bridge is being done north of Sarno Road. South of Sarno, the second main line is built up to the crossing. New track is laid and ballasted north of Babcock Street, and some track equipment is parked on it. The track is also laid and ballasted south of Babcock. Just north of NASA Boulevard is the CP Melbourne crossover. All the track is laid here and connected to the crossing. The track is ballasted and connected south of the crossing as well. The new track is laid and ballasted north of Hibiscus Blvd. This crossing was recently rebuilt to add the second track. The new track is also in place south of the crossing. No ballast has been laid north of Seminole Avenue yet. Rail has been added to the ties through downtown Melbourne. I would expect ballast to be dropped on it here soon. Now in the sky, we'll take a quick look at the Crane Creek Bridge progress. The first track of the new bridge is very close to being complete. The beams for the second to last span have recently been installed and crews are already working to start forming the deck. The beams for the last span are on site and should be installed soon as well. The work on the decking on the north end is almost complete as well. The temporary trestle has been completely removed from the east side of the bridge, and the area where it was on the southeast bank is being prepared so sub-road bed can be dropped soon. Crews are now working to rebuild the temporary work trestle here on the west side. Once the new bridge is complete and open for trains, this temporary trestle will be used to demolish the old bridge and build the second track of the new one in its place. On the north end of the bridge, the roadbed for the second track is now formed with the retaining wall in place and several parking spaces removed. Here's a look at the two tracks built through downtown Melbourne. And here's a closer look at that new retaining wall. We'll now look at the area between Crane Creek and Turkey Creek. South of Crane Creek at Jackson Street, sub-road bed has been laid looking north, but no track yet. To the south, track has been laid and is attached to the crossing. Track is also laid north of Jernigan Avenue. Another cut and throw will be completed between here and Jackson Street. At University Boulevard, there is an additional track for a team track and there will be a cantilever signal. This is the current Palm Bay siding and the siding track is becoming the second main line. Ties are laid north of Palm Bay Road. With Turkey Creek south of Palm Bay Road, no track work has been done there yet. We'll now take a quick look at the Turkey Creek Bridge progress. The northern pier still has some forms around it, but it looks like they should be removed soon. The southern pier is complete. All of the staging for this bridge is being done here on the north bank. Here's an engineer's eye view across the bridge. It should not be long before beams start getting installed here. Continuing south, we'll look at the area between Turkey Creek and Shell Pit Road in Grant. Back on the road at Port Malabar, no track work has been done to the north since the roadbed provides access to the south bank of Turkey Creek. Track is laid around the curve to the south. Track is laid and ballasted north of Malabar Road. About half a mile south of here is the future Malabar crossover. The double track from this crossover to the Micco crossover will be the next section of track put into service. The second track is essentially complete north of Jordan Boulevard. There's a gantry for a defect detector to the south. Valkaria Road has recently been rebuilt and the second track is now laid north and across Goat Creek in the distance. The second track, which until recently ended just short of the crossing, is now attached and has been tamped and regulated. We are now driving south on Old Dixie Highway, paralleling the tracks. These tracks have been essentially complete for the past year and will finally be put into service in the next couple of months. This siding was recently rebuilt for a Cemex plant. This old intermediate signal will be removed when the second track is put into service. This is the Valkaria crossover. It will be put into service at the same time as the second main line. Moving a little farther south past 1st Street, and the completed second track continues. Both new intermediate signals are up north of Shell Pit Road. To the south, a new Setout track has been built. Here's a look from the air at this Setout track. A set-out track is a short siding that can be used to set off cars that may have an issue, and also gives maintenance equipment a place to park off of the main line. There are derails on both ends of the siding in case any cars left on the siding start rolling so they don't accidentally foul the main line. We'll finish off with a look at the work between Grant and the Sebastian River. Barefoot Blvd had been double-tracked as part of the Micco siding, but was rebuilt and additional crossing protection installed. Intermediate signals for the Micco crossover are south of the crossing. There's a short siding north of Micco Road that track equipment is often parked on. The area north of Roseland Road is being used for staging for the Sebastian River. Brush clearing recently began to the south. And we'll finish with a look at the Sebastian River Bridge. Beams to the first track of the new bridge are now laid a little more than halfway across the river. Crews are currently working on finishing to install the pilings for the last few spans on the south end of the bridge. It looks like there are 8 piers in various states of completion. It also looks like crews are making preparations on the southeast bank to start building another temporary work trestle on this side. The existing trestle is in the way of where the last span of the new bridge needs to go, so it will need to be removed before the bridge can be completed. Rebuilding the trestle will also allow the old bridge to be demolished without having to work across the new bridge. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.